So, you're a masochist and you decided to play Echoes of Aincrad in Death Game mode. My name's Bicycle Walrus and I'm here to help you out on your way. What this means is that when your HP reaches 0, your save file will be deleted, and if you wish to continue your adventure, you must do so from square one. There's no way to preserve your save file, that is, of course, without weird mods and or extraneous means, which you should not do. We want to make sure that we're doing this appropriately. After all, Death Game mode is meant to punish you when you die, just like if you were to die in the real show, Sword Art Online. But the good news is that Death Game mode is not unfair, at least not in my experience, having played for about 20 hours in Death Game mode over 4 attempts. The 4th attempt is the current attempt. Haven't died there yet. Doing pretty darn good, making my way through Cardinal Rank 2, running side missions, main missions, and enjoying the actual full release of Sword Art Online. It does, however, require preparation, patience, and an understanding of how all of the game systems work, and that is the point and purpose of this video, for I am here to guide you on your little way through the Death Game mode without spoilers, telling you what to look forward to, or any of that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I want to give you 3 core pillars to focus on in your adventure to make sure that you do not perish or meet an otherwise untimely end. So, strap on, let's get ready, and let's dive into these 3 ways that you could prolong your Death Game mode run. The first pillar is control the battle. The second, always leave prepared. And finally, explore, level, and gather the world. Let's begin. The most important lesson in Death Game mode is that damage is not your only concern. You need defense, HP, damage reduction, healing, and control. Eventually, something is going to hit you. You may mistime a dodge, or get caught in a combo, become surrounded by additional enemies, or get absolutely flattened by an attack you have never seen before. Your build must give you enough time to recover from that mistake. That is why defense and vitality are so important. You are not trying to become invincible. You are trying to create a margin for error. If you survive the initial hit, you can use the game's extremely powerful recovery tools to regain control. Healing crystals should be treated as emergency healing. They restore HP immediately, which makes them ideal when you are close to death and need help right now. Potions serve a different purpose entirely. Potions restore HP gradually over time. Do not wait until you are nearly dead to drink one. Use a potion even before you expect to take damage. Even when your HP is full, the regeneration effect can immediately begin repairing any damage that gets through your defenses. You are not drinking the potion because you are already hurt. You are drinking it because you expect the enemy to hurt you. Iori is one of the strongest survival partners available because her support skill creates a healing area. Place that healing area early, then conduct the fight from inside it whenever possible. Between uses of her support skill, maintain your potion regeneration. As soon as her healing area becomes available again, place another one. Positioning matters. Do not place the healing area against the outer edge of a boss arena or inside a space that may become inaccessible. Some encounters can restrict the usable portion of the arena. Place the healing area somewhere that gives you room to dodge, reposition, and continue fighting without being pushed outside its effect. You should also learn to use combo skills defensively. During a combo skill, both you and your partner are effectively protected throughout the animation. That makes the skill more than a damage button. It is an emergency tool. You can activate a combo skill when an enemy begins a dangerous attack, when additional enemies surround you, or when you need to escape a situation that might otherwise end the run. Iori's combo skill deals area of effect damage and is excellent for clearing groups of weaker enemies. Even on very hard difficulty, it can immediately eliminate many of the additional enemies that enter a battle. Do not panic. when adds appear. Gather them, position them within the attack, activate the combo skill, and use that protected animation to regain control of the encounter. Combo skills can also apply the status effect attached to your weapon, making them useful for more than just raw damage. Daze and Blind are two of the best defensive status effects you can apply in the game. You must use these. When Daze or Blind is applied, the enemy will frequently continue attacking in the direction it was facing when the status took effect. Move away from that direction, and many of its attacks will miss completely. Dazed enemies are more susceptible to being downed. A downed enemy cannot attack, which creates a safe burst window for sword skills, heavy attacks, consumables, and partner abilities. The goal is not simply to damage the boss faster. The goal is to reduce the amount of time the boss is capable of fighting back. You also need to manage stamina. Do not empty your stamina bar just because an attack window appears. Always preserve enough stamina to dodge, guard, or reposition. When your stamina is exhausted, your conventional options become severely limited. You may still have access to sword skills, support skills, or combo skills, but you should never depend on those abilities being available at exactly the right time. Control the battle. Do not allow the battle to control you. Before starting any quest, perform a complete preparation check. Your first stop should be the smithy. Inspect your weapon, review its innate effect, and check whether better EX mods are available. Your weapon should not be a random collection of individually powerful bonuses. Every component of the weapon should contribute to a specific plan. For very hard death game mode, I recommend beginning with at least 2 defensive EX mods, 1 utility or resource-oriented EX mod, and 1 offensive EX mod. Your exact configuration will depend on your weapon, attributes, and preferred playstyle, but survivability should come first. A small amount of defense can have a significant impact in this game. Do not dismiss a defensive EX mod because the number looks smaller than an offensive percentage. Preventing enough damage to survive 1 additional hit can save an entire run. Pay close attention to weapons with innate status effects. Status accumulation appears to depend heavily on the number of successful strikes rather than only the damage of the individual hit. This makes fast weapons, especially daggers, extremely effective at applying status effects. One-handed hammers can also apply status effects reliably. Bull Rush, in particular, has consistently triggered the weapon status effect in my testing. One of the largest offensive bonuses I have found is increased damage against enemies affected by a status effect. I have seen that bonus reach approximately 31% at Cardinal Rank 2, and I'm sure it could go higher. That is an enormous increase, especially when Daze, Blind, Burn, Poison, or another effect is already part of your survival strategy. The lesson is simple. Make your weapon's innate effect and EX mods work together. Do not equip a status weapon and then fill it with bonuses that only benefit an unrelated playstyle, like slash damage, for example. Have a plan for how you will apply the effect, what benefit you receive while the effect is active, and how you will capitalize on the resulting attack window. Next, inspect your consumables. Consumables are not optional extras in death game mode. They are part of your build. Bombs and mines can scale extremely well with intelligence, producing substantial damage without requiring you to stand directly beside the enemy. They are especially useful against groups, during down windows, or against enemies that punish prolonged melee pressure. You should also carry the appropriate cleansing items. When entering a quest for the first time, read its description carefully. Quest descriptions often provide clues about the enemies, environment, or status effects you may encounter. Use that information. After checking your equipment and consumables, spend your growth points. You receive growth points as you level, and those points do nothing while they remain unspent. Do not put every point into your weapon's primary offensive attribute. Stop it. I see everyone doing this in their guides. You are wrong. That is not how you're supposed to use your attribute points. They actually made the other attributes worthwhile. I have seen too many people dismiss attributes as useless, worthless, or otherwise not interesting. That isn't true. Learn how to play video games. Do not put every point into your weapon's primary offensive attribute. Death game mode rewards balanced survival builds. At approximately level 15, I recommend working toward the following distribution: 10 vitality, 5 endurance, 20 points in your primary offensive attribute, and 5 intelligence. Vitality provides HP necessary to survive the mistakes. Endurance increases your stamina, allowing you to attack, guard, dodge, and reposition without exhausting yourself immediately. Your primary attribute supports both your damage and the specific identity of your weapon build. Strength, dexterity, agility, and intelligence do more than increase a generic attack number. Their value depends on the scaling of your weapon and sword skills. Then there are the intrinsic attribute values that are built into the attribute pool. So for example, my strength-based build gains both attack and defense as it develops. Combining strength scaling with additional defense bonuses create a durable character without completely sacrificing damage. Intelligence is also valuable, as it gives you one of the most important defensive status effects in the game, and that is status effect resistance. 20% for just 5 points. That is massive and mandatory. I would recommend you have that done before you fight the first B boss in the very first prologue mission to protect yourself from poison. And later on, against the Strife Direwolf, paralysis. You need this. This is not optional. 5 points in intelligence. Get it. Intelligence can also improve the performance of offensive consumables such as bombs and mines. If you're not using bombs and mines, you are missing out on really good ways to apply damage and flinch enemy bosses. Mine, later on, can become valuable when your strategy depends heavily on SP-based abilities, but your exact investment should reflect how frequently you can use your sword skills. Finally, inspect your partner. Your partner needs an appropriate weapon, useful effects, and current upgrades. Partners can apply status effects, perform sword skills, deal substantial damage, and interrupt enemies. They are not cosmetic companions. Consider how the partner complements your own build. A partner may apply the status effect that activates your damage bonus, control additional enemies while you focus on the boss, or provide the healing and support needed to stabilize the fight. Your partner is also the final line of defense when you become incapacitated. When you're lying on the ground because of paralysis, your partner may be the only thing standing between your character and permanent death. Equip them like your life depends on it, because it does. You may have heard that every enemy in Echoes of Aincrad automatically scales to your character's level. That is wrong. I don't care what the reviewers say. There were lots of people who reviewed this game. They had no clue what they were talking about. It's like they didn't even play the game. And they told everybody that monsters will scale with your level. That is not true. This is not how the system works. Enemy scaling is tied to the cardinal rank of the mission. Within that cardinal rank, enemies occupy a defined level range. So for example, cardinal rank 1 missions generally contain enemies ranging from level 1 through level 10. They will match your level between that range. Once you exceed that range, they will be capped at level 10, meaning if you're level 15 fighting the dire Strife Wolf in the 3rd Prologue mission, that dire Strife Wolf will be level 10 while you're level 15. Cardinal rank 2 moves into approximately level 11 through level 15. That means you can over-level a mission. What I did is I made sure I was level 15 before fighting that dire wolf. Why? Because paralysis will kill you and end your run. I would rather spend an extra hour grinding out to level 15 before fighting that wolf in order to make sure that I get to stay alive and continue the run into the actual launch of the game, which, let's be fair, that's the fun part of the game. We want to be there. So get to level 15, and then you can continue from there, and you will be pleasantly surprised that once you progress into Cardinal Rank 2, you're rocking a level 17 character fighting level 15 monsters. You're still over-leveled. That's how you're supposed to do this. Take your time, get all the chests, fully explore each region, over-level. That way, you can protect yourself. There is no prize for entering every mission at the minimum possible level. Your goal is not to prove that you can barely survive. Your goal is to complete the entire run without dying. Explore every available route and open every chest. The prologue alone contains 13 weapon recipes. Chests can also contain potions, combat consumables, upgrade resources, and other items that may be unavailable from shops or crafting during the early game. These rewards are not insignificant collectibles. They directly increase your chances of survival. Activate every safety area or warp terminal you encounter. These locations reveal map information, provide recovery opportunities, and make it easier to return to areas that still contain unexplored paths. Use map pens when you discover a chest, barrier, elevated route, or suspicious location that you cannot currently reach. Death Game Mode rewards methodical exploration, not rushed exploration. Remember that completed quests can be replayed. Open the quest menu and check the completed tab. You can return to earlier missions to gain levels, gather materials, search for missed chests, practice a weapon, or test a new build in a familiar environment. Replaying an earlier quest is one of the safest ways to recover when your current mission begins to feel too dangerous. Do not force progression because you have already accepted a quest. When the game gives you an opportunity to return to town, use it. Upgrade your equipment, spend your growth points, replenish your consumables, and come back prepared. Optional encounters also deserve respect. Some of the strongest equipment I have discovered was hidden behind bosses, sealed locations, or large enemy ambushes. I have found daggers capable of applying burn and restoring HP in proportion to the resulting burn damage. Those are the ambushers. You get them out of the, spoil the free, right? Look for it. It's fun, and they're cool. Just check it out. Effects like that can completely transform a build. However, powerful rewards are often protected by dangerous encounters. Do not challenge every optional boss immediately after discovering it. Mark the location, prepare the appropriate equipment and consumables, then return when you are confident that the reward is worth the risk. A Death Game Mode playthrough should take significantly longer than a normal or story difficulty playthrough. This is not a failure. Every additional trip to town, every replayed mission, every opened chest, and every carefully avoided ambush is part of a successful run. Control the battle. Never leave town unprepared. Explore, level, and gather everything that you can. You do not need to play perfectly. You need to prepare well enough so that one mistake does not become your last. Good luck in Aincrad, and remember, your objective is not simply to defeat the enemy and win the next fight. Your objective is to survive the death game. My name is B-Dubs, and if you want to see me live stream my death game attempts in Echoes of Aincrad, feel free to come on down to twitch.tv/BDubsDM21. Again, that's twitch.tv/BDubsDM21. Link is in the description and the comments down below. Be sure to go ahead and click on down there. Until then, everybody, good luck in your adventures in Aincrad, and I'll see you at the next one.